Hello, friends. Welcome, one and all, to another episode of Come As You Are. My name is RJ, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about weight loss, the struggles behind it, and why it's important to have a support system behind you when making this decision. We're going to get pretty real about this one, so bear with me. A little background on your boy: I've been overweight for as long as I can remember. I've been teased, embarrassed, made to feel small and depressed, and to be honest with you, I've had suicidal thoughts. I am definitely not alone, though. In the US, according to the CDC, over 48% of black people suffer from obesity. With this disease comes an array of potential issues, including heart attack and stroke, just to name a few. One of the many avenues outside of diet and exercise that have come around to combat this disease is surgery. The past decade has seen an enormous increase in the number of bariatric or weight loss operations performed. This trend is likely to continue, mirroring the epidemic of obesity around the world. Here's my beautiful cousin Jennifer discussing what made her choose this avenue. So, for those who are unfamiliar, can you talk a little bit about the procedure, like the planning of it, what it took for you to make that decision, and then what it kind of felt like afterwards?
So it was after I had my son, after I had Gavin, um, and just seeing pictures of myself, just looking at myself in the mirror, feeling just unhealthy. I didn't want my son to grow up and me not be able to run around the park with him, not, you know, just I wanted to be motivated to get up and be able to do things with my son. Not being able to fit in rides at Disneyland,
Mm.
I'm obsessed with.
Yes,
Um,
that makes two of us. I miss the park so much. So much.
right. Um, so just I knew I wasn't healthy. I mean, thankfully, I didn't never had diabetes or anything like that. Um, but I knew I needed to change, and I had tried to do it on my own throughout the years, and nothing ever helped. Realizing now that it was because of my thyroid,
Mm.
um, and I never knew that.
Mm.
Uh, so that was why I struggled with losing the weight on my own. Um, so going into it, I, researched the surgery, researched surgeons, um, and found one that I thought was, going to do a good job.
Mm.
So I met with her a few times and then met with the nutritionist. It was a lot. There's a lot that goes into it.
Now, one of the common misconceptions after a change this big is that, like magic, your confidence just takes over because you look different. For most, immediately after, this may be the case, but looking deeper into it, a Harvard study found that weight loss following bariatric surgery generally improves moods, at least initially. The study found reductions in depression and anxiety 1 year after surgery. For example, depression scores fell 40% in patients who underwent bariatric surgery, compared with 10 in the control group of patients. The researchers noted similar improvements in anxiety scores. However, when patients were assessed again at 2 and 4 years after the bariatric surgery, their depression and anxiety scores had increased slightly from the levels recorded during the first year following surgery. It is not clear how much of this is due to the dissatisfaction with the amount or rate of weight loss, which may plateau with time or not be as significant as the person hoped. So, when you think about yourself from before, and before all the weight loss and everything you had to go through this whole year, how much of you before this, like when you were bigger, do you feel like you hold on to now?
All of it.
All of it?
Yeah.
Because the biggest misconception that I hear with a lot of people when they think about getting a surgery like this is, oh man, once I lose the weight, I'm going to think so much better about myself because I'm not going to have all that extra weight holding on. And I'm going to think I'd imagine the face that you're giving is the exact same way. Like if you didn't have it before, guess what? You ain't going to have it afterwards.
Yeah. No, it doesn't happen easily. I mean, before when I was bigger, I mean, I had zero confidence, like none whatsoever. And even now, I don't have confidence, but it's better than before. But confidence is something that I've definitely always struggled with and continue to struggle with.
So going back to the confidence piece, what are ways, like if somebody was going to be doing this who wasn't you, how would you tell them like to kind of approach that part of it? Because I know that part of it's huge. There are plenty of people who give the surgery who suffer from a lack of confidence, who end up going back and end up messing it up for themselves. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, how would you talk to somebody like that who doesn't already have that confidence piece before they do it?
Um, Honestly, I would you just got to take it a day at a time. Like, I know that sounds cliche, but I mean, you just have to take this journey for what it is. Like, eventually, you'll start seeing changes in your body, changes in the scale. Um, and that alone helped me tremendously. When I saw how much weight I was losing, how much I've been losing, that helped tremendously. And then finally being able to go into any store that I want and shop, like that's such a
Talking to her, I really had to look at myself and see if I were ready to make this kind of decision. And if I did, why would I be doing it? I mean, I want to be around for my kids, but was that the only reason? Was any of it just about pride or vanity? Then we discussed what she wanted to tell others about the decision to take this on, and it made me realize that if I do choose to do this, it has to be about more than just me. You have to choose to be a light, a beacon, for not just those around you, but also for anyone who needs it. If you were talking to the younger you, what would you want to tell them about what you're about to go through?
well, in regards to the surgery, I would just say don't try to rush it, because I feel like at some point I did feel like it was rushed and kind of just settled on a surgeon, even though I did my research.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I just went with the first one that called me back, pretty
Okay,
much.
gotcha.
So I will say that, and just to make smarter decisions, do stuff that's going to benefit your life and make you happy. Because for me, at the end of the day, after everything that I've been through, like, you can only make yourself happy. You can't please everybody. And that's definitely something that within this past year that I've come to realize.
That on a tangent, I think that's something that you and I both suffer with.
Right.
It is one of those things that's it's very hard to not want to be pleasing to everyone
Mm-hmm.
because it's from my experience in our lives, it's the easiest way to get people to like you.
Right.
And
We're
because
people pleasers.
yes, um, because I I still can't. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where even now I struggle. Now I've gotten a lot better as I've gotten older, and we've started doing this. And I've married Amanda, and she kind of doesn't accept that from me
Mm-hmm.
because there's a point when you're with somebody where you're like, where they know if they really care, they know when you're not being genuine.
Right.
Where it's like, all right, quit fronting. What do you really want?
Mm-hmm.
People who you don't care about, they'll never get to that place.
Right.
They'll be like, whatever, just keep doing what I want you to do and we're good. Versus if they really care, then it's let's find out what's really wrong about you. I am curious moving forward for you. How do you use your newfound stature and confidence to affect others? Do you instill these lessons into your son early? You know what I mean? Like is this one of those things where because of everything you've had to go through this year and then moving forward, is this going to be something where you're going to be like, do you want to go out and talk to people about it? Is that something that you're interested in? Because I think you'd be great at it. Yeah.
Um,
Shut up.
I think eventually I could get to that point. You know as well as anyone how much I've had to overcome these past few years. There's definitely a story behind everything, and I feel like if I could inspire others, I'm all for it. Because I mean, even when I worked at the gym, um, you know, I had the opportunity to share parts of my story, and that even helped me, to get new members at the
Mm-hmm.
gym. So it just seeing that actually did help with my confidence too,
Mm-hmm.
because not only was I able to help them sign up for the gym, they would even start coming to me for tips on workouts and meal plans and, stuff like that. So, and then, I mean, at that point, I was already obsessed with the gym anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely. If I could get out there and talk about it, I think I would.